to the Birdhouse Dynasty Show and our live second and third round coverage. We're going to dive in here nearing the middle of the third round of the NFL draft. And so we've got quite a few guys gone so far that I like today. A couple of running backs, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins already gone. Then RJ Harvey went to the Broncos. That's a nice pick. On the receiver side, we've got Trey Harris going to the Chargers. That's a nice one. And so we're going to get into those major picks as we work our way down. We'll go backwards to start with to the beginning of the second round. For now, I want to, let's see here. I'm going to make sure I can bring up the draft tracker. Yeah, there we go. We're going to do this today for the show. I'm going to bring up the draft tracker a lot more because we're doing 2 rounds today. If I get on tomorrow night, I'll definitely be using this. All right. Nope, not what I wanted to share. All right, let's get the real page up here. Yes, not that one. Okay. Carolina, their pick is in, and there we go. All right. This looks better. Yes, definitely. All right. So this was the beginning of the third round tonight, and the Browns went linebacker to start us off. Then bang, right out the gate, the Texans grabbed Jaden Higgins. So Higgins is going to move up some boards, that's for sure. He's going to allow Nico Collins to move more around the line of scrimmage. So that's a nice grab for the Texans and CJ Stroud. Also, note, running back didn't get taken to sit behind Mixon there. So then after that, we had Judkins go to the Browns with the 4th pick in the 3rd round, and that's awesome. I love that landing spot for Quinshon. I had comped him to Chubb actually earlier this offseason, so yeah, that was a nice snag for the Browns there. So they'll have Judkins getting a good load, good chunk of 1st and 2nd down carries there, potentially right out the gate, and Jerome Ford for the 3rd down work. That seems like a good tandem actually there. There we go. All right. So after Judkins, then 2 picks later, Travion Henderson goes to the Patriots, and nice landing spot here for Travion. Ramondre, with a new regime, I don't know how much work there is for you. We'll see, but Travion's going to take over this backfield. And he's played in a committee his whole career, basically, at Ohio State. So, Ramondre is not completely washed. Some people may drop him solo. He actually becomes a good buy, I could say. But I think that Travion's going to get the majority of the money touches. That's what he did to Quinshon at Ohio State, at least. So then we'll scroll down a little bit here. And there we go. Next 6 or 7 picks, we had Luther Burden with Nice landing spot with the Bears. Interesting to see what goes on there. I mean, now Ben Johnson's got another weapon. So, man, they're loading it up for Caleb as best as they can. And he better figure it out. Then the pick of the night. Oh, this is what I wait for every spring for the Saints to screw it up. That's what we had here. We get Tyler Shook going too high to the Saints. Love it. All right, we'll move on. Mason Taylor going to the Jets. Decent landing spot. I mean, all they had there was Stone Smart, right? They let Conklin go. I mean, all right. Then Terrence Ferguson goes to the Rams. Decent landing spot. And then Arroyo. So all three of these dudes go. So Fannin hadn't been taken yet, but the other three, Arroyo goes to Seattle. Of those three tight ends, man, I almost got to think it's Mason Taylor as the best landing spot. So we'll see there. I mean, still need to have Fannin taken. And then we'll go from there. But Ben Morrison went to my Bucks. He fell that far. Beauty by Jason Licht. Love it. He was a first-round talent at some points this offseason. Packers take Anthony Belton, tackle for NC State. Not bad, adding to their line. And then another great landing spot we get here for a wide receiver, and that's Trey Harris to the Chargers. I love that. He was a sneaky one for me. And so, he solidifies himself pretty well in that front end of the second round for our rookie drafts. Somewhere in there if you're looking wide receiver. I don't know that I'd put him above Egbuka. That is something that some people might do. I don't buy it. That's one where I would, if you do that, you're pushing your chips in too much onto the landing spot, okay? That's why you do pre-draft work and know what talent is. So I would love it if somebody drafts Trey Harris ahead of Egbuka in my leagues. So he could possibly fall into the beginning of the second. RJ Harvey to the Broncos. Gorgeous landing spot here for Harvey. Whew. So Caleb Johnson hasn't been picked yet. And at this point, where I'm at here in the second. And then, let's get over to the third round. I haven't seen Johnson taken yet in the third. Sorry, I'm catching up here. I was trying to beat my wife in Scrabble before we got here. All right, please load up. Come on. All right, pick is in for the Texans here. It's pick 79. There we go. Finally, Fannin did go to the Browns. Wow, that is interesting. Njoku and Fannin. Wow. And then, we've had a string of defensive players. Oh, forgot. Pat Bryant, a specialty for the Broncos. We'll have to dig a little more into Bryant. I have not had him in any of my mocks, honestly. So can't say that I love it, but, Sean Payton likes to find these gems. He must do something in particular, right? Isaac Tesla to the Lions here from Arkansas. Another guy who hadn't done too much studying on. Now, Kyle Williams to the Patriots. I had seen that mocked quite a few times, actually. And I think that's a great fit for Kyle Williams. He can get in there, learn from Stephon Diggs, and, try and take what a solid veteran knows and become one himself. All right, so I had to get a little charge going here. Okay. Now, Jalen Noel. Oh man, Houston is not messing around at wide receiver. Holy. Wow. Okay, so Jalen Noel and oh my God, that's crazy. So I mean, they just paid Nico Collins, so wow, I'm just like, I guess, you know, they're thinking the worst case scenario for Tank Dell, okay? And that way they really do need 4 wide receivers, so he just asked me, Brandon. Yeah, I'm still so kind of blown by this, so I'm trying to gather my thoughts on them grabbing both Iowa State wide receivers. I mean, I know that they listened to CJ Stroud when they picked Tank Dell, but like, did they really? I don't know. I guess they really saw them play well as teammates and like the way they worked the side of the field. And so that must be the thought there. I mean, neither of them got like overdrafted in my opinion. Maybe Higgins you could say, but like I heard whispers of him going into the first round. So I don't hate that pick. And then yeah, Jalen Noel going in the middle of the third, mid-late third round. It's a good pick. So between the two of them, yeah. And why not draft guys that know each other well? All right. I always thought that it was interesting. Like, it wouldn't shock me if the Titans grab Xavier Restrepo because they just had a great connection, which what was helping Cam Ward rise up the boards this season. Elijah Arroyo, he found him later in the season a little more, but Restrepo was consistent all season long with Cam Ward. All right. Now, Bengals just took a guard. Okay. So no running back there. All right, Tennessee is up here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 6 compensatory picks tonight, so we still have 38. Yeah, we still have 21 picks to go tonight, so we got a little bit of time here to talk in between picks what happened. So I want to bring up when somebody gets drafted. So we're looking at probably wide receiver next. That's going to be my guess. Don't know what running back. I would love to see Caleb Johnson go soon. Not Tennessee. Oh, Pittsburgh. Perfecto. Falling right into their lap. He reminds me running style of former Steeler Lev Bell. Then he's got a little more power, sort of the DeMarco Murray running style. Potentially maybe Larry Johnson-ish, but not. Yeah, actually Larry Johnson, not um, David Johnson, Larry Johnson back from Penn State with the Chiefs in the early 2000s. He had a nice running style. Took him a year or two to actually get the work, though, there. But because he was behind Priest Holmes, who was just an absolute monster for the Chiefs back in that early 2000 period. All right. Come on, let's go. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want to bring up the player that just got selected and chat a little up on him. So that's where I'm at here. Yeah, Draft Buzz. I love your commercials. Okay, so Jalen Royals just got picked. And he went to Jalen Noel. Hey. But Jalen Noel is a solid, real good route runner. He killed it at the combine. I mean, yeah, he makes sense totally as a pick for the Texans. Kind of helps out the loss of Stephon Diggs. Here we go. And so I like Noel mid-second. Honestly, I prefer him over Higgins, but that's something to look more into in like CJ Stroud's passing tendencies, like how many pass attempts would he throw out to the actual X wide receiver. I mean, we've seen it in Houston. Like, I don't want to say that the old regime has come back, but with like Hutchinson and some of those, I'm thinking of DeAndre Hopkins' partner that he had from Ohio State, the guy that got hurt all the time. But anyway, he was more talented. So Higgins almost has as much talent. I can't believe his name's leaving me. Somebody throw it in the chat for me if you know it. Really wanted to see Johnson to Steelers instead of Sanders. Well, we'll see. I'm watching on an NFL. Did Caleb, Rocket Sanders go to the Steelers? Oh no, they took Shadir Sanders. That's what he meant. Jeez. That's a perfect fit for him, though, with Tomlin. No, it's Caleb Johnson. Oh, there it is. Nice landing spot. Love that landing spot. Awesome landing spot, Steve. Yes. Yes, this is a dude. He's taken over, essentially just literally taking over for Najee Harris. Those are the touches he's getting, and he can excel at them. He's a little more of a patient runner, I guess, comparatively speaking, because that's really what you're doing here. So and you're getting him cheaper for this year than you would have paid Najee. And I mean, it's a great all-around deal for the Steelers. Now my Buccaneers are up. Let's go defense again. Oh, let me think who I want to see, either a D tackle or linebacker. Just grab. Oh, just D tackle or linebacker. Simeon Rice, there he is. He was a sack machine back in the day. Not a Hall of Famer, but borderline. Okay, we went the corner from K-State. Nice. Okay. I like that. Last corner we had from K-State was Aqib Talib, I believe. That was a little mixed project there. He went on to do some awesome things, just not while he was in Tampa. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. It's a draft party, yeah. I just forgot my beverage. Okay. We'll go over here. All right. So, who's up now? The Chiefs, after my Bucks took that corner. Yes, pick is in for the Chiefs. Okay, so let's talk Caleb Johnson to the Steelers. How high does that put him in the first round of our rookie drafts? I mean, this is something that's going to be discussed, between him and Travion Henderson in New England or Quinshon Judkins in Cleveland. So those three running backs, how do you rank them? Because I think we had a clear 1 and 2 in Genty and Hampton. That first round draft capital, I think, proving that. Granted, Henderson and Judkins went pretty early in that second round. Now you've got Johnson going here in the third, but I don't think anybody's shocked at that. I just really like the Pittsburgh landing spot for Johnson. So I think Johnson moves up to pick 6 now in my book, because I would put him ahead of Travion and Judkins at this point. Steelers just have more weapons on offense that I think they're a little more lethal than the Cleveland Browns. Now this is assuming Rodgers is going to sign there. I mean, they haven't drafted a quarterback yet. It's almost as though Rodgers is going to come out after the draft here in Lambeau and say, yeah, I'm signing with the Steelers, just to, try and, I don't know, rub it in with the Packers fans. But Packers fans got what they wanted yesterday, that's for sure. That was one of the top entrances of all time. I mean, that couldn't have gotten any more classic, to have the draft in Green Bay and them picking a wide receiver for the first time in 23 years. I mean, you don't know how many people talk about that with the Packers. What, ironically, I heard, this one almost tops that. The New Orleans Saints have not drafted a quarterback in 52 years. since Archie Manning. That's right. Yes. So that's just some wild tidbits I've caught through this draft process. I know that's not going to score us any fantasy points here, though. So next up, yep, we had a corner go to the Chiefs. All right, we're on the Chargers now. Chargers have taken Omarion Hampton and Trey Harris so far, so I think they probably are going to address some kind of defensive need. I mean, there's already 2 picks towards offense. But makes it look nice for Herbert, that's for sure. I love Trey Harris landing spot there. There and Dallas were probably the best 2 landing spots, I thought. And Harris, being opposite McConkey, it's not like McConkey's getting 175 targets here. He's not that much of a target hog. So I think they're going to complement each other very well, actually. It's like a perfect tandem. Now you got Herbert. Whew, he's going to have fun. Shedeur Sanders. Oh, he hasn't been picked yet. That's right. Well, the Packers can take him as their backup. That's what I told some people. The guy wouldn't even show up in Green Bay. He built his own custom green room. Dude, that is just so classic. And oh my God, it's just too funny. All right. Anybody else in the chat there? Steve, what other questions you got? Caleb Johnson was money landing spot. It almost makes, those 3 running backs to me are like the next 3 picks, because now you're looking at Burden to the Bears. I don't love that. I mean, how much what's the difference between that and the Ibuka pick to Tampa, right? Packers select a D tackle. There we go. No, that's the Chargers. Sorry. Jeez. I've got the closed captions on, so. All right. Any other questions out there? Anybody? What do you think of Tyler Shook to the New Orleans Saints? Does that move you up to the 2nd round on him, I guess? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he's battling Spencer Rattler for running the show in New Orleans. We'll see. I mean, Shook has some experience. I understand why Shane, my guest last week, liked him. He's got experience, but I don't know. The accuracy, it just... He's going to get a chance, though. I'll say that. So that warrants him moving up from, at least on my tiers, I had him in the 4th round with that cluster of Will Howard and Dylan Gabriel and my guy Kyle McCord. I mean, Shook definitely showed something there. It's his leadership or just his knowledge of the game. I mean, sometimes that's all it really is you need to have that knowledge of the game. Derek Carr was a 2nd rounder, and he stepped it up right away. So there was a little bit of steam of Shook. There had been people saying early 2nd round for him. Let's see who the Packers go. Pick Shedeur. Yes, Matt English is in the house. What's up, Matty? There he is. Loves Caleb to Pittsburgh. Absolutely, man. I mean, that is a money spot. That's what I'm saying. Like, pick 7. That's where I'm at with him. No, 6. Yeah, pick 6. I like Caleb now. I'll still have Cam Ward ahead of him for now, but we'll see. I really like Dart's landing spot. It kind of depends on the team, honestly, but I know that the community is going to be so high on Cam Ward that I'm not going to be able to let him fall too far. You know, I still want at least a share of him in some league. Texans taking the Iowa State wide receivers. Love them both, by the way. Nice. Yes, Maddie. It is wild to pull that off, honestly. I don't hate it at all. I think it's a great move. I mean, you don't think the Bengals wouldn't have minded having Justin Jefferson instead of T. Higgins? All right, so Dart may start next year. Yeah, that is gonna hurt his draft stock in our rookie leagues. Pretty much knowing that he likely will sit for a year. Now, who knows? I've said I think that the Giants might just have a camp battle between Russell and Winston. And Russell, they already said, Dable said that he's the starter. But I could see them releasing Winston and just making Dart the 2 if he's smart enough right away. Judkins, yeah, I love the Judkins spot as well. I'm seeing more red zone opportunities for the Steelers than the Browns, so that's kind of where that's coming from. But both excellent landing spots, so that's why I've got him 7th for now, and then Henderson 8. So that's how I've got him. You can put them how you want, and I'd have both tight ends after them. You know, I'd probably have 9, 10 would be like something like Dart, Ibuka, which those are long plays. So, you know, if you've got a win now team and you need some points for sure this year, you might be looking at Burden or something, or Higgins. I guess I don't know if I want to take them that high though. At 9, 10, Ibuka is talent, man. It's there. And Harvey to Denver, so another estimate. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, RJ Harvey's a lot more talented than Audric Estime. His only big, real question mark was his hands. And Matt, you know, we talked about it on the show on Thursday. The age thing with Harvey, who cares? You get your 4 years out of these backs. If they're good, they're good. Guys are going to play longer if they're good. I mean, Derrick Henry is good, so he's playing longer. It's not like rocket science. Sometimes in Dynasty you overrate the age. And you know, if a running back comes into the NFL at age 23, so be it, right? So he's 27. Look at Najee Harris. He's been fine. He's not amazing. He's probably not going to make the Hall of Fame, but he's been fine for us on our dynasty teams. Worthy of the place where he got picked? Probably not. All right, let's see the draft picks. Did I miss anybody? Savion Williams to the Packers, doubling up at wide receiver. Savion's a bigger boy. Some likened him to, see, he was a quarterback, and I think that was in high school. I don't, unless he. I just had something coming through my headsets. It seemed weird. Okay. With Mason at quarterback, you think Pittsburgh will have more opportunities? Oh, man. I think they are. I think they are going to sign Rodgers. There's no way they're going into the season with Mason Rudolph. I mean, I'm shocked. I'm glad. I can't believe they didn't take Milrow. If they weren't going to take Sanders, like, fine. Guess they could feel like they can wait till the fourth round. It's risky, but we'll see. All right. See that draft tracker again here for you. Where was Savion in the wide receiver rankings? Let's see here. I don't hate the pick for the Packers, but man, they are making sure their wide receiver room does not go weak. There he is, 13th. Ty Felton's another sneaky wide receiver that should get picked shortly. Savion Williams here. I know that he played quarterback. I can't remember if it was in high school or at TCU. But anyway, 4.48 40. He stands 6'4", 222. Big outside wide receiver. Yeah, I don't remember if they actually show the RAS score from the combine on here with these guys. No. Yeah, district winning high school quarterback. And he just flew under the radar and went to TCU. Okay, so next up, who do we have here? Let's go back to the draft tracker for you guys. All right. There we are. Okay. Jaguars went with a guard, and before that, they took a corner. They had back-to-back picks there. So I think that was one of Cleveland's picks that they got back in return for flipping seconds. Because I know they did get one extra pick back for in the Travis Hunter deal. Maybe that wasn't it, but does it really matter at this point? The Browns have a lot of picks. I know that. All right, the Rams are. So do the Rams grab a quarterback? Shador is the backup to Stafford. That would be quite interesting. Sean McVay and Shedeur Sanders. That'd be an interesting sideline. All right, who are they going with here? What's up? Does Sanders get drafted, or will he be starting in the UFL? Oh my God. That would be classic. That'd be so great. I mean, just. It's just so cruel, though. I mean, the kid. I don't know. He didn't do anything at the Senior Bowl. He didn't. Like, he did show up at the Senior Bowl, I believe, and then he just left. And then all he did was throw the ball to Travis Hunter on his pro day. So, I don't know. I can't believe he has fallen this far, honestly, but he did not have many good interviews, apparently. They don't want the sideshow. Who does? It's like Colin Kaepernick, right? They didn't want to deal with nobody, and he wasn't very good anyway. Like he was 3-16 in his last 19 regular season starts. His numbers were terrible. All right, who we going here, Baltimore? Don't be shocked if... Nope, they grabbed a guard from LSU. Okay. I was going to say, don't be shocked if they grab a running back here. And the Seahawks are up. This is another squad. Be shocked if they grab a running back here. They went Elijah Arroyo last round. I don't know. I don't love it. I mean, I was not... Early on, I liked this tight end class, and now it's just not as exciting, I guess, to me. And so, like, I'm fading the beginning of the class, and now in Warren and Loveland, and now, Arroyo goes to Seattle, and Fannin is with Njoku in Cleveland. Mason Taylor is with the Jets, right? And Ferguson, where did Ferguson go? He went to why can't I think who took him? Let's see here. Ferguson went to, it was like 3 or 4 picks later only. 5 picks. Rams, that's it. Which is all right, I guess. I mean, Higbee's almost dead. So, yeah, they need somebody. But Parkinson, they didn't get any production out of that spot last year. Why not? Right? One scout said he's the next Travis Kelce, so what the hell? Nah, I'm not buying it. I mean, whatever. Somebody else can take him in the 4th round. Here we are, Sean Alexander, back from the dead. Whew. That guy had some monster years with Seattle. Got him to a Super Bowl. And then died, like, very quickly. He was one of the poster childs for the renaissance of the dying running back. Like he didn't just hit the age cliff. He he was, oh my God. There it is, Jalen Milroe to Seattle. Ooh, that is a little juicy. Um, we'll see. They're testing Sam Darnold a little with that pick, but it's also saying that they like him over Shadoo. Oh my God. Yep. Now they can put Milroe in on plays, goal line situations. You know, what can I say? 20 touchdowns is no joke on the ground. And that's what Milroe had last season in college football. Yeah. All right. Oh, thanks, Steve. I should have had that up, letting me know it was the Rams. All right, let's go back to round 3. Get back in line here with you guys. Okay, we're just gonna share the draft board with you. It seems like the easiest way to track things. Pat Bryant. Whew. That was a little shocking. Okay, so now Milroe. Where do you place Milroe? Because some people, myself included, had Milroe sneaking up to the, front end of that second round. Do you put Tyler Shook ahead of him now? I mean, Shook's going to have a shot. I think, I'm pretty sure Darnold's the starter in Seattle, at least for the next 2 years, I believe. I believe his contract, if I'm not mistaken, has an out after 2 years. So that would be enough time for Milroe to learn. Or maybe he's just a better leader and they decide to go with him. Who knows? That's why they went with Russell Wilson, because they thought of his leadership. So or they trade Howell now. Yeah, that would be awesome. They're gonna. I was thinking Darnold. Yeah, I don't know if they can get anything for Howell. I mean, he did all right when he came in last year. Didn't he have to come in for a couple games? I think Gino missed. Maybe it was 2 games. All right, New Orleans pick is in. Here we go. What do the Saints do dumb next? Can they top themselves? All right, and Cleveland with another pick here. Coming up after them, then New England and your world champion Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Who'd you take, New Orleans? Come on. Let's see it. Ruin somebody's night. Okay. Jonas Sanker from Virginia, safety. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't really have a comment on that. I don't know how bad their secondary was hurting due to the salary cap. So all I know is they got to clear money out as fast as they can. And so they should roster as many rookies this year as possible. Okay. The Browns, then the Patriots and the Eagles. Then we have our supplemental picks, or compensatory picks, my bad. Minnesota, then the Raiders get 2, Then the Niners, then the Falcons, then the Texans all have extra picks. So the Raiders have 2 picks coming up in the supplemental round, and then do they have their 4th? Because that would be an early 4th. Then they'd have like a nice cluster of 3 picks. Yeah, they do. So in 6, they've got what? 3? A matter of 10 picks. The Raiders have 3 of them coming up. So what else do they need? They probably want to draft another. They need a wide receiver. I know that, but they might grab another running back. Who knows? I don't know. Not with Genti. Because that's right. They did sign Raheem Mostert. So I don't know if, I guess Mostert and Sincere McCormick, that would be fine, right? Who did they take? Raiders, that's where. Yeah, they didn't have a second rounder. Okay. They do have 3 picks coming up here. So that'll be all right. Get some talent in. Like I said, they could definitely use a nice X wide receiver opposite Jacoby Myers, and that would really seal the deal for this offense. So if Pete Carroll doesn't want to mess around, he's throwing together a team that can compete. I'll say that for sure. How well? Do they get more than 9-8, 10-7? I don't know. Could they? Could they? Yes. I mean, will they? I don't know. That West in the AFC is looking pretty strong by the minute. Because I love what the Chargers did offensively. Again, the Chargers defensively, they seem to be the Chargers defensively. You know what I mean? They can show up and be awesome one game, and then the next, it's just a completely different team. All right. What we got here? We are at... Yeah, the pick is in now for the Browns. The Browns, did they have any comp picks? No. Okay. And I know then that they'll pick early tomorrow. Tomorrow the draft starts at noon and kicks off the 4th round. The 4th round will be, let me make sure that's right. Noon is the right time. Oh, man. Seriously, though, okay, guys, where do you think Shedeur Sanders is actually going to get drafted? I mean, he's got to get picked at some point, right? Who are we picking here, Cleveland? Dylan Gabriel. Wow. All right, Maddie, what do you say to Dylan Gabriel? You going to be starting this year? Or is it Smoking Joe? Next up here is New England. Now, New England grabbed Kyle Williams from Washington State earlier. Some were high on him. I mean, Chris Sims had him as the second second best wide receiver, but that's Chris Sims. So I don't buy much into that, but you know, if you want to say he's in the teens, then fine. I want to bring up Kyle Williams' little profile here. 6 foot, 186, ran a 4.4, 88, no, 83. That's not their RAS score. Okay. Yeah, 4.440. Draft Buzz had him at receiver 20. So, I mean, I feel safe. The receivers, honestly, the receivers like 11 through 20, you can pretty much, I'll just kind of throw him into a tier. Savion Williams is in that range. Jack Besh is borderline. He's a little bit better than them. He went to the who did Besh go to? Did he go in the second? He went in the second round. Why did I forget who he went to? Oh, Las Vegas. So they did grab a wide receiver last. They just picked lower. They flipped with somebody. Okay. I don't know that Besh is exactly what I would have envisioned opposite Jacoby Myers, but you know, he should fit in well with the intermediate passing with Geno. I think that's a decent fit. I still think they got to grab another deep threat. I guess they still have Trey Tucker. So yes, thank you, Steve, for the Raiders. So yeah, here, let me bring up Kyle Williams for you. Because, I mean, somebody's got to be Drake May's guy, right? So no one better than Kyle Williams, like I said, to learn from Stephon Diggs. Very similar type build. He's probably a little bit bigger, but extremely similar types of wide receivers. That's the main thing. So I like that one. For, you know, if you're looking to grab a receiver in the third, it's a good dart throw. Especially best ball. Like me personally, I like to roster construct where I have very minimal in lineup leagues, very minimal wide receivers on the bench. So Kyle Williams is somebody that's probably, you know, below my threshold. I guess if I got an extra taxi squad spot, but I'd rather use them on running backs from this class anyway. But who's the next running back going off the board? We're going to get Scattaboo off the board before the end of the third here. Bashul Tootin, maybe. Dylan Sampson. Any of those guys going to go? Let's bring up those running backs here while we're on here. There's Torrey Horton, too. I could see him going soon. At running back... Let's scroll it down a little. Devin Neal, Scattaboo, Dylan Sampson, Jordan James, Brashard Smith. I could see any of those guys go. Damian Martinez, any of those running backs, honestly. I think I just rattled off 10 of them. They could any of them go right now. I don't think Trevor Etienne would go this early. DJ Giddens, he could go. Yeah. So let's flip this over to the draft board again. There we are. Let's get back to the third. Texans pick is up, and who do they go with? They did not go wide receiver again. They went corner, took a corner from USC with the first compensatory pick. The Falcons before that went defense once again. Xavier Watts, the safety, and New England took a center. So they've now grabbed a tackle in the first, and now Jared Wilson, the center from Georgia, heading to the Patriots. So very solid Mike Vrabel picks. You've got the tackle in the first, Travion Henderson in the second, and Jared Wilson now in the third. So they're piling it. Who did they grab earlier in the third here? Xavier Restrepo would have been a total pick for them. Corner out of Iowa State. Okay. No, that's the Raiders. New England took, Kyle Williams. Yeah. I just happened to talk about him for 5 minutes before. All right. Next up, we're waiting on the 2 picks from the Raiders here, back to back. Let's see what the Raiders pull off now. There's a lot of interesting buzz there in Las Vegas. You know, Geno Smith coming to town. He's been a winner in Seattle, right? I mean, I guess it kind of basically gives him a puncher's chance in the West. The Chiefs have to have one off season one of these years. And really, any of those teams are there for to take it. Denver, the Chargers, or the Raiders. We'll see. I mean, Denver just put their running game in the hands of R.J. Harvey. The Raiders have Ashton Genty. And the Chargers have Omarion Hampton. So those teams are loading up at running back. And, Chiefs didn't have their pick here. Be interesting to see who they do grab. I've seen Jaden Blue mocked to the Chiefs. Let's see. Who do you think the Chiefs go after? A small scat back to get the Jerick McKinnon role there? That'd be Jaden Blue for sure. Maybe Marcus Yarns out of Delaware. Okay, so the Raiders' first pick is in. They already taken Genty and Jack Besh. They'll take Shador. He gets to sit and watch Geno. Vegas would probably be perfect for him, actually. Let's see here. So, come on, show us who they took here. So, come on. Oh, geez. I think the Raiders should take Sanders. He the same type of quarterback. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a good point. So, with a third round pick, this is totally worth the for them. I mean, the circus can go to Vegas and nobody's going to give a shit. Right? Like he could go. I don't know how well he'd do in New York, but L.A. or the Raiders, yeah. You know, if the Rams want to take him, I could see that. Nope. Caleb Rogers. He took a guard. And what are they doing here? They're going another O lineman. Their line was already pretty strong, I thought. Now do they need one more excitement pick here. I mean, it'd be totally Vegas to take Shador. Them or the Cowboys. When do the Cowboys pick next? That would be something. Shador backing up Dak. Oh boy. I don't want to see that. All right. Oh man, Damian Martinez. So many good running backs yet. I guess I'm not shocked. I mean, there's going to be running backs picked into the fourth round. I mean, into the sixth, seventh round. I was thinking, obviously, all of these guys could fall now to the fourth, really, because these teams are just going to be like, well, I can grab whoever at this point. This is where that range is winding up. The 11 backs I had talked about that were after the top five. And you still got Scadaboo and Tootin, as well as Martinez and James. Charles Grant. Tackle. All right, they mean business on the O-line. Bring him out of a small school, William and Mary. All right, the Niners are up, and then the Eagles, then the Vikings we've got here. Okay, 3 more to go, and then we can break down these picks a little bit more and get our rankings solidified, at least for the first round, right? I mean, I got a draft starting tomorrow night, so let's get these straight. All right, guys? Okay, so we got Genty, Hampton, we'll just say Cam Ward, Tet, Hunter, then Caleb, Quinshawn, and Travion. Then I almost see a tier break there. Then we'll go Dart. Let's see. Do the Niners make their pick? No, I don't see it. Dart, Ekbuka. All right. Then we've got mini tier break. Then Trey Harris. Burden. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's my 12. Shador has dropped out, obviously. All right, then we've got Noel and Higgins. I guess I would move up into there, right? The Niners pick is in. Do they grab a running back here? I'll put Harvey right there. I might move Harvey up past right. He might go right in between Trey Harris and Burden for me. RJ Harvey. Let's see here. Who else at running back am I missing? Now we only can go through guys that have been picked. So, okay. Quinshon, Dylan Sampson hasn't been picked. Scadaboo, Neal, James, Burchard, Quentin Allen definitely not. Tootin, Martinez, Etienne, Mullings. No, none of these guys in this tier. Okay. So yeah, we're only at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 5, 6. Is that it? Yeah, I mean, that's super nice for Genty. I've been going back and forth with one of my 101, actually two of my 101 picks, whether to trade Genty. And, you know, the more I remember and think about guys like LT and Marshall Falk and just absolute league winners, like, yeah, the more I think about it, I'm probably even in my major rebuild that isn't ready probably till at least next season. I probably just am going to keep him because the value is going to be there. I'll hang on to him. Maybe it'll cost me getting the 101 next year, but man, if I get anywhere inside the top 5, I'm happy. Upton Stout. Okay, so after that, we've got some wide receivers that have been picked. So let me get some of their names down quick before I forget this, so we can run through the list and give you an updated tiers. All right, Matthew Golden. Jeez, I'm forgetting. Okay, so Golden. Okay, I've got Nolan Higgins down. Royals hasn't been picked. Besh has. Aya Manor hasn't. And Isaiah Bond definitely not. Savion Williams has. So back-to-back Packers that I'm writing down at least. And then we had Kyle Williams, right? Yes. And Pat Bryant. Okay. Kyle Williams and Pat Bryant. Okay. So there's definitely going to be a cutoff there. I think the receivers up until Besh. I mean, I'll be willing to take a shot at Golden in the second round, because, I mean, he's going to be a guy that is more valuable in real life than on the field. I mean, think than in the dynasty landscape. Think Xavier Worthy. That's what I'm putting for Matthew Golden. And so, yeah, you can draft him on the hope and prayer of it happening, or you can take RJ Harvey, the probably starting running back week 1 for the Denver Broncos. I mean, that's a no-brainer. To me, at least. That's what I'm thinking. I don't love the target share possibility for Golden. Now in best ball, he'd move up a little bit. Maybe I could see that there. It's hard to rank Noel and Higgins because I like Noel better, and I think he's better fantasy-wise, has a better chance for, again, similar where he works underneath, and Higgins is the deep threat. So maybe in best ball you want him, but I don't know. All right. Broncos took Savion Jones from LSU, and the pick is in for the Minnesota Vikings. Last pick of the night. Roger Goodell said he wanted it to go quicker, and it did. And I think everybody likes it. I don't think we all wanted to sit here till midnight. We got, it's just a little over 4 hours right now. That's not bad for 2 rounds. Tomorrow's going to be a long day anyway for everyone, so. Yes. Who blacklisted Shedeur from the NFL? I don't know, but this is wild. This is just wild. Ty Felton drew some comparisons to another great from Maryland, Stephon Diggs. So I don't hate that. All right. So Felton moves into a wide receiver room where he can start out as the 3 there. He could sneak into becoming. And, I don't know that they'll pay Jordan Addison. So eventually maybe the number 2. All right, so there we have it, the last pick of the night. So let's go. Let's run it down here. Right up top, we've got Ashton Genty. Then, why don't I just I'll just bring up the sleeper draft room. That's easy enough, right? Okay, so here's the Cannonball League, which we are drafting tomorrow night, starting immediately after the NFL draft ends. So I am going to, I got to work tomorrow, but I will be trying to start this stream as soon as possible so we can do this draft live, essentially. Yes. There we go. Let's get in the draft room. All right, so we're looking at Genty, then Omarion Hampton. You could cluster Tet, Cam Ward, Omarion Hampton all in the same bucket. That's 2 through 4. Throw Travis Hunter into that bucket. All right, so that's your 102 through 105. Then you got the 3 big dogs at running back: Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson, going pick 6 through 8. Then it gets a little murky here. This next tier, I would say, you got probably 6 to 8 players, and this is how it's just up to you. I gotta throw Milrow down here. He's still dangerous. Okay, so Yeah. So we're going Dart, Egbuka, Trey Harris, RJ Harvey, Burden, Noel Higgins, and Golden. So that's where I'm looking at. Golden probably move up. Um, what? Where did Burden go? Burden is in Chicago. Yeah, I still like Burden as the weapon. That's a tough call, but I'll go with my preseason, I mean, draft season analysis there. I just don't love Matthew Golden as a producer, right? Again, he could be like, put up the numbers that maybe Xavier Worthy did last year, which was 600 yards. Um, because he's going to be running a lot of fly patterns. I mean, that's what they need him to do, to open it up for Jaden Reed underneath. So we'll see though. He might get a good touchdown total to beef his stats up a little bit. So I could definitely see that from Matthew Golden. Um, I'm thinking long term. Long term, I like the underneath receivers a little bit more in Luther Burden and Jalen Noel actually too. Because again, I feel like he's a better fit to score fantasy points more consistently than his teammate Jaden Higgins. Um, but an interesting thought there for the Texans. It's wild they did that. All right, so we got a co-owner situation here in one of my leagues. I got to set up. Okay. Um, there we go. Um, One second. I'm just trying to get this guy in the league. All right, there we go. Sorry, guys. So then we are at, yes, so far, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So those names I've talked about: Dart, Ibuka, Trey Harris, Burden, Noel, Higgins, Harvey, and Golden. That would be the next 8, I'd say. So you've got from the 108, and then I would mark it off, and then the next 8. So that'd be from 109 through 204. I see a nice break there, definitely. Now, remember, we talked about these running backs, how deep this class is. You still have Tootin, Scattaboo, Devin Neal, Damian Martinez, lots of nice backs still out there that could go in the 4th, 5th round that I would put ahead of the next list of wide receivers, which are Jack Beck, Savion Williams, Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant, Ty Felton, and Jalen Milroe. Milroe, depending on where these running backs go, and even wherever they go, honestly, I'd almost have them ahead of Milroe now, as him going to Seattle doesn't have a clear path to starting really. So he's more of just going to be a gadget guy here and there once in a while. And so it kind of soured my love for Jalen Milroe, but that's okay. He's still got that ceiling. If he gets a chance, you never know. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, wow. Talk about plummeting. He doesn't know how to invite for as a co-owner. All right. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. You got the top 8, then another 8 right now. And we'll see if Scadaboo or Dylan Sampson's landing spots get me excited to jump back up into that mix with that 8. I don't know. It's hard to think. It's hard to think that those guys could jump them. There we go. I need to circle this for a guy. All right. So, sorry I had to pause there and get that taken care of. Okay. So, again, I think that our first discussion here is in the top 8 with Genty, Hampton. I feel confident with those two. But then we get between Tet and Hunter and Cam Ward. And that's definitely a discussion. Whether you want to go quarterback or wide receiver there. I think that the public, again, for me, I would lean towards the ceiling, which is going to be Hunter more often than not. But there might be a team or two where I take Cam Ward because I need a quarterback. I mean, his value is probably going to stay pretty solid, even if he struggles. Just because I don't see, it's going to be tough for him to lose his job. They're not going to take a guy number 1 and bench him for Will Levis if he's struggling. Then after that, no, Royals wasn't picked. So yeah, Jalen Royals is still out there too. That's somebody I like more than Beck, Savion Williams, Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant, Ty Felton. So depending on where Royals goes next, I could see wanting him. But yeah, so tomorrow, I think the names we're going to be looking for most tomorrow are going to be the running backs immediately, like Scadaboo. Let me bring up this page so I can navigate it. Where are the running backs? There we go. Okay, so if you can see on the screen, you've got Devin Neal, Ollie Gordon, Sampson, Scadaboo, Martinez, James, Giddens, all have not been picked. So these 4th and 5th rounds, I think, are going to be littered with the running backs. And to me, honestly, the draft capital doesn't scare me that they've fallen, that they're not, 2nd and 3rd round running backs. I think a lot of the NFL teams knew that this was a possibility with the running backs, and so they're going to have no problem taking guys in these next 2-3 rounds to start off tomorrow. Yeah. So whose landing spot aside, let's put Shadur Sanders out of it. It's a big enough deal. We get it. Um, whose landing spot do you love, and whose landing spot do you absolutely hate the most? That's my question for you. Like, are you holding how much are you holding a Buka's landing spot against him? That's going to be a question you got to answer yourself. Whether you want to move like Trey Harris ahead of him, um, shit, even RJ Harvey. Like, I don't know, but I'd still have Dart and Ibuka at the top of that tier. And that's just what I'm looking at now. If I can trade back within that tier and pick up something, I will. But because I don't want to have Ibuka on all my rosters. But yeah, I'm not dropping him down past the third best wide receiver in this class. We're gonna have a JSN situation all over again. Because the Bucks wide receivers are getting old, I'm telling you. And by year two, Ibuka could be hell. He could be our best wide receiver in Tampa. All right. So you guys got any questions on anybody? Any thoughts? Let me hear whose landing spot did you like and whose did you hate? Because yeah, there's a couple that I absolutely love that are meaningful. Caleb Johnson. I love Trevor Hunter's spot. That's like perfect for him. I love Caleb Johnson's. Um, and I like Quinshon Judkins as well. And Travion is no slouch either. That's what I mean. Like, these three guys, they all got good spots, really. Let me do this. Where do you put Tyler Shook? Because I forgot. I didn't write him down. Do you have Shook? Do you have Shook with Milrow, or do you think that Shook's going to be the starter? Are you pushing him up the board to reflect that? Like, how high are you? Is Tyler Shook a second round pick for you now? It seems crazy to think about it, but man, it's there. This is just insane. The Shadur Sanders. Oh my God. Okay, so yep, there they're showing Quinshon Judkins being taken. um, yeah, I love that spot. I mean, honestly, between the three, Caleb, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson, you could pick any of those three, and I don't care. It's fine by me. Um, Now, do you want to go? If you rank the receivers uh, 3 and 4, and then Cam Ward 5, are you willing to push it enough? That's a good question here. Are you willing to push it to take any of those three backs over Cam Ward now? Quinshon, Caleb, or Travion Henderson. Some people were super high on Travion Henderson. You know, they had him as the second best back. Are they willing to push him into the top 5 with the New England landing spot? That'll be a question for some people to ask. I mean, I don't hate on that. I see it. Here we go. There's the 6 backs taken so far. And we shall see tomorrow a big run of running backs in the 4th and 5th rounds. Somewhere it's going to happen, and you're going to see like 7 to 10 running backs fly off in about a matter of 25 picks. Isaac Tesla, I forgot to put him down. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, these guys that they're showing on NFL Network now, I just like Higgins, Burden, Trey Harris, and Kyle Williams. The others, you can kind of. I don't hate Ty Felton either, but yeah, and that would be more so for best ball, I would say. Keep in mind, roster construction wise, lineup league, best ball, completely opposite. Those 3rd and 4th round picks in lineup leagues, you want to be using on running backs or quarterbacks. In best ball, it's completely opposite. You want it on wide receivers. You don't want to be wasting roster spots on zeros. It's as simple as that. And if you're rostering a bunch of 3rd string running backs, they're getting you zeros on a weekly basis. So that's why I'm saying that it matters roster construction wise. And the same goes with backup quarterbacks. I don't mind owning my like top 2 quarterbacks, their backup as well. Even the 3rd, if you got 3 strong quarterbacks and you got every one of those backups and those are your 6 guys, it's fine. I prefer to own 2, maybe a 3rd weak quarterback, and then have some good bench backups. Not too many, but a couple. Like last year, I was able to hit with Aiden O'Connell in some leagues, Jameis Winston and others, so that you get the idea. Look for teams with running quarterbacks so that you get the backup there. So like, who went to Baltimore? Cooper Rush from Dallas. He could get some spot starts for sure. Same with whoever is now with the Washington Commanders. You want to see that backup being rostered in your lineup or in your leagues. He's definitely got a shot to play at some point. Let me see here. Who is their backup? Who's got Jaden Daniels here? The Reaper. Why can't I bring him up? Oh, come on. That's lame. All right. Anyway, not a big deal. So yeah, we're going to have our Cannonball draft tomorrow night. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe so that you can tune in for that, a real live draft right after the NFL draft is finished tomorrow night. We'll have that for you. Yeah, you can check us out on the Patreon, patreon.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show. You can ask for roster reviews there. It's just $3 a month. Very minimal cost there for you. You get my rookie rankings, which I'll update these now, and so that we have the tiers better set. I don't know what I'm going to do with Shedeur, how far down and where to put him exactly. But, yeah, I can make a little bit of an adjustment here now. So, yeah, that you have some time to look at that. I do want to mention also the buymeacoffee.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show, and make sure that you Hit the like and subscribe. Tune in tomorrow night. And remember, folks, never stop working.